Hey, Divine Ones, it's Jerome Braggs, and I received a question recently because I've been talking a lot in the last month about living our truth and how our truth is medicine, how our truth is the portal to wellness for our bodies, how the truth is the portal for happiness for our internal emotional states, and how really living our truth begins to attract to us everything we've ever really wanted, we truly, authentically want. And I received a question in one of these posts from one of my followers that said, "How do we live? Can I give examples of how we actually live our truth?" So I want to share with you today the 5 ways we live our truth. It's going to be a little quick video to give you just a quick understanding about the 5 different ways we live our truths. And the first one is to feel what we feel. So to honestly feel what we feel. A lot of times, especially in the fields of spirituality and personal growth and transformation, we can get into this idea that you always have to feel good all the time. And while I am a teacher of vibration, I am a teacher of frequency, I understand about living in the higher frequencies. When you don't allow yourself to be honest about how you feel and you're trying to always either suppress how you feel and try to put a mask on your face about I'm happy when I'm really not, or you know, I'm fine when I'm really sad or I'm angry. When you don't allow yourself to feel what a lot of people will call the lower vibrational feelings or the negative feelings, when you don't allow yourself to feel that, what you're actually doing is you're suppressing a part of yourself. You're suppressing a part of yourself. And suppression never, ever, ever equals wellness, and it doesn't equal happiness. Only full expression does. Also, when we express ourselves, we don't actually get the message from feelings. And that's going to be another video. But every feeling that comes to us has a message behind it for our personal and spiritual growth. So, the first part of living your truth is to feel what you feel and to be honest about it. Because when you get honest about how you feel, and this is the rules I live by, is honesty before positivity. To get honest about how I feel first, that I'm angry or that I'm sad or that this sucks for me or that this doesn't feel okay for me or I'm a little scared here or I'm worried about this. To be honest about it first. And then I can do the work of shifting my emotions and my feelings to a more higher vibration or to a more positive space. But I can't do that when I'm not being honest. Also, it's not loving of myself to not allow myself to be who I am in this moment. Right now, I feel this way. I'm not always going to feel this way, and I'm going to do what I can to feel better. But I don't need to punish myself and say, I don't deserve to feel like this. Or I'm not good and I'm not a good spiritual person or I'm not a good high vibrational person if I don't feel like this. I feel like this and I want to feel like that instead. So I will work to feel like this, but I do feel like this. That's the first step. To feel what we feel. When we're not feeling where we're lying about how we're feeling, and when we're not allowing ourselves to feel what we feel, when we're running away from our feelings or suppressing them or try to deny them, we are not living our truth. And that is another way in which we block all of the wellness and all of the blessings that come from living our truth. The second way we live our truth is to know what we know. To know what we know. This is about really allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to trust what's coming up from within you, to know what you know, right? One of the things I work with people all the time is around like, people will say, I don't really know what I want. And I'm like, you do know what you want. You have to give yourself permission to know what you know. You're scared of knowing what you want. You're scared of that. Or you may be worried about what they'll think if you honestly are honest with with yourself and say, this is what I want. But you have to know what you know what you know. Know what you know about what you want. Know what you know about what you feel about your situations. Honor your feelings about it. One of the main ways we don't allow ourselves to know what we know is when we're in relationships with people. You have a feeling that this isn't enjoyable for you. that this isn't right for you, that this isn't delicious for you, or that it is enjoyable for you, or that you really do enjoy this person, but you're trying to sell yourself you don't. Know what you know. That's a huge part of living your truth. Know what you know. Allow yourself to honestly trust what you feel in your gut, in your knowing, in your heart, in your soul, in your intuition. Know what you know. I can do a whole nother video, and I'll be talking a lot about this, by the way, in my Self-Love Academy. This whole month is about living our truth. And so if you're in Self-Love Academy, all of the classes that we're doing this month are all going to be about that. The next class is this Sunday. So I'll be going in greater detail about all of these there. But I just wanted to kind of touch base, give you the touchstones on these. But to know what you know is to trust with the knowing that you have, your internal wisdom that's coming forth about anything. I believe first and foremost that I trust it's insight over external information, intuition over external information, always. To trust that before anything else, right? Trust that before you trust the advice of somebody else, to trust that before you go and get somebody else's opinion. You always go internally to know what you know, and to trust to follow that. That's living your truth. To not follow that, to not follow your knowing. Like, I don't think, I just feel, I have a deep feeling that this relationship isn't good for me, but I'm going to go forward with it. That's not living your truth. I have a deep knowing that I really don't like this job. I don't want to do this work. This isn't for me, but you're going to continue working it. That's not living your truth. I have a deep knowing that I am supposed to live by the ocean, and I know that. I feel in my body that I need to be by water, and I'm not doing anything to make moves towards that. That's not living my truth. So know what you know, feel what you feel. Number 3, say what you mean. Say what you, how I love to say it really is, say what you want to say when you want to say it, and exactly how you want to say it. Say what you want to say when you want to say it, how you want to say it. Say what you mean. When you try to, you've got to speak your truth. This is what's called speaking your truth, right? So you've got to speak your truth. When we don't speak our truth, we're blocking our truth. That's when we have problems in the throat chakra area. That's when thyroid issues come up, all this type of stuff. When you're blocking, you're not saying what you really want to say, you're suppressing it, or you're trying to rearrange it, or you're trying to edit it to make it look pretty, or to make it acceptable to somebody because you're concerned about how they're going to digest this, or how they're going to take this, or how they're going to respond to this. And so you don't really say what you mean. You don't really say what you believe. You don't speak up about what's valuable to you. You don't say no to what you really want to say no to. You don't. These are all things when we're not speaking our truth. Speaking our truth and saying what we mean is saying no to everything you want to say no to, when you want to say no to it. It's saying yes to everything you want to say yes to, when you want to say yes to it. It's speaking up about what you believe. Like, one thing I used to not do is when I was in groups with people, if they had different beliefs than I did, I would never really speak up what I believed because I didn't want to rock the boat. Well, that wasn't living my truth. That was putting a mask on so that I could be accepted or try to belong. But what I would do was I would belong to them, right? I would be approved of, and I would belong to them, but I wouldn't belong to myself. I'd be disconnected from me. And anytime we suppress our truth, or we don't speak our truth, or we don't live our truth, we become more and more disconnected from ourselves, because our truth is the essence of who we are. So that's a part of it. You have to say, not just what you need to say, but what you want to say. Like, that's what, again, are you sharing your beliefs? Are you speaking up about your values? Are you saying the thing you really want to say in this conversation? Or are you holding back because you don't think that they can take it, or you're scared about how they're going to, or how they're going to respond? Again, say what you want to say what you mean every time, in every conversation, everywhere you go. Don't lie. That's another thing, being honest. That's what this is another thing I'll get to in a second. But that's another thing about speaking your truth, is speaking the truth of it, the honesty about what you really mean, how you really feel. If somebody asks you a question, one of the easiest things you can do to start with that one is when somebody asks you, how are you doing? Our response, our traditional socialized trained response, is just to say, I'm fine, or I'm okay, instead of actually how you actually, like, take a minute before you respond, take a breath, and actually go into how you actually feel around this. How am I doing? One thing, I'm very honest. Like, somebody asked me the other day, hey, how are you? They asked me in the store, I was in the store, and the clerk asked me, like, how are you doing? And I said, you know what? I'm actually kind of tired right now. My knees are hurting. That was the honest truth about how I'm doing in that moment. I didn't say I'm fine, because that wasn't what I was feeling. I was feeling tired, and my knees were hurting. So I had just come from a workout and my knees were sore. And so that was my truth. And the clerk kind of looked. And again, I don't speak my truth because of how I think you're going to respond to it. I speak my truth because I need to speak my truth. So the clerk kind of looked and was like, oh, wow, that was a very honest response. And so that's part of saying what you mean. Saying what you mean is the honest truth as well. So that's number 3. Number 4 is to let all of ourselves be seen. This is a big one. This is one of the things that I'm in my journey of going deeper into right now, in my own journey of loving myself more and healing myself more, is letting myself be seen. Letting ourselves be seen. And somebody saying to give the truth to those who really care. Nope, it's not about them. Our truth is never, ever about somebody else. It is never about somebody else. It is about you. Your truth is about you. It's never about can they take it or do they care about it. Your truth is about you. When you are suppressing your truth, it is never benign. I need you all to really understand that. Suppressing your truth is never benign. When you tell a lie, by the way, this is scientifically proven as well. This is not just spirituality. This is science behind this. Every time you tell a lie, it weakens the body. The body actually hates lies. It weakens the body. It weakens the muscles. It weakens the immune system. There's a whole science behind this with muscle testing. There's a whole science behind this when they looked at how the immune system responds to when we are not telling our truths. There's been many studies that have looked at when people have lied, how is their health done, and it has always declined. You don't tell your truth from somebody else. You tell your truth to stay in your wellness and to keep your vibration high. Also, when you lie, you lower your vibration. And the moment you lower your vibration, you stop attracting what you really want. So it's not about that clerk. That clerk's opinion of my truth is none of my business. My ability to speak my truth and to keep my frequency high and to stay connected to my soul, that is my business. And that is your business. That is your only business. So it ain't about that clerk. It's about you. So again, to let yourself be seen is about not holding any secrets, to be honest, to live your true self, and to let others see it in the world. Like, to not rearrange yourself, to not edit yourself, to not suppress pieces of yourself, to not hide pieces of yourself because you don't think these things are acceptable or that they're going to be. And one of the reasons why we do things like this, the main reason we ever suppress our truth is because we're trying to impress somebody or we're trying to belong. And we believe that a piece of our truth will lead to a loss of belonging, or it will make somebody not like us or approve of us. That's the only reason why we ever do that, why we ever really leave our truth, is because we're trying to impress somebody else or we're trying to belong. And so, again, leaving your truth never is it doesn't have positive effects on you ever. So you may get belonging and you may get approval, but you'll also get sick. And you'll also not be able to attract what you want, and you'll never be happy, and you'll never feel free. So it's not a good, leaving our truths is very understandable, but it's not a good exchange. It's never really worth it. So the thing about living our truth is about being seen. So that is allowing ourselves, the truth of ourselves, to be seen. So there's nothing we're holding about ourselves in the shadow. No matter how ugly we may think it is, no matter how dark we may think it is. I remember I used to hold a lot of things. I used to hold my sexuality in the dark. I used to hold my spiritual gifts in the dark because I grew up in a very Christian home and in a very Christian environment. And, I have intuitive and psychic gifts, and that wasn't very acceptable back then in my culture. So I suppressed them. I hid them. Well, that wasn't being open with who I really was. I wasn't open with my sexuality for many years. There are other parts of me when I was going through certain parts of my health challenge. I wouldn't reveal that I had illnesses because I didn't want people to look at me a certain way. So again, it's about being open, revealing all of ourselves. By the way, when you love something, you show it off. You reveal it. Anything that is truly loved is never hidden. If you really, really, really love something, if it is very precious to you and you adore it, you may protect it, but you don't hide it. You want to show people this thing. You want people to see it. And so this is the thing about ourselves. Part of loving ourselves is revealing ourselves, is showing ourselves, is letting ourselves be seen to others and letting ourselves be seen in the light of this life. So that's part of loving ourselves. That's number 4, letting ourselves be seen. And then the last part is to do what you really want to do. This is the hardest part because many of us are socialized out of that. We're socialized into doing things that will get us approval or accolades or achievements or money. And instead of what makes us feel alive, what is calling us from our hearts, what is calling us from our souls, what we're yearning for, what we're really craving, right? What our souls are craving. To do what you really want to do, what you feel is true for you in your heart. That is part of living your truth. Again, I spoke about this early in the video. If you're working a job that you hate, that's not living your truth. If you're living somewhere you really don't want to live, that's not your truth. If you're eating something, like if you're following a diet and it doesn't feel, but you really, really want to eat this, and the way you feel like it's best for you, again, this is about going to know what you know. The way you feel is best for you. Let's say everybody was telling you that you should be vegan and in order to be healthy. And so you follow a vegan diet, but in your soul, what you feel is like what's really healthy for you is to eat meat, but to eat clean meat and to just eat more vegetables. By following a vegan diet, even though all the experts are telling you to eat this and this is the way to eat, if you follow that vegan diet, you are going to be outside of your truth. And it's not going to have the highest benefit on your health. Because only following your truth amplifies wellness. Because again, if you're following this vegan diet, but your soul is calling you to eating meat, but a cleaner diet, but just eating clean, eating a vegan diet is lying. You're denying your truth, which is always a lie. So, and again, remember, the body hates lies. It gets weakened when we lie. So this is all parts. You got to follow what is true in your heart and do what you really want to do. Live how you really want to live. If you're really silly and really weird, but you're always serious and professional and you're never really expressing your silly side, you're not living your truth. You're not doing what's true for you in your heart. So those are some examples. So those are the 5 ways that we live our truth. We feel what we feel. We know what we know. We say what we mean. We do what we really want to do, and we let all of ourselves be seen. So if you want, I'm going to go into greater detail into all of these things, plus a whole lot more in the next class at Self-Love Academy, which will be Sunday. If you want to join in with the class, you can easily do so by registering by the link in the bio. Self-Love Academy, we have live classes every month. And as a matter of fact, June is the last month of the Academy. So if you've been thinking about joining the Academy or thinking about doing it one day, do it now, because June 30th, there will be no more Self-Love Academy. And anytime you join, you still get access to all of the classes that we've done previously and since last October. So Thank you all. I hope this has answered your question a little bit on what it looks like and what it means to live your truth. Until next time, I love you. Now go love yourselves. Bye.